It sped up a little bit because I was slowly counting. But I
It's
switched
funny,
this over.
time moves at the same pace, no matter how slowly we count.
Hello. I don't know who is actually taking over as far as who's talking at
Who
this
is our
point.
leader?
Yeah. But we're Tales from the Catacombs.
Hello, welcome to Tales from the Catacombs. Tonight we are here with a special episode where we're taking questions from you to answer. As the cast of Razia's Shadow, we got myself, I usually play Stan. We have Kassie, who plays Viola, Josh, who plays Snow, and David. I think I'm pointing wrong because I'm looking at this mirror, but that's okay. We're trying. We're good. I did my best. It's like I'm looking at the screen, I'm looking at myself, my camera's mirrored. I just
Josh's was correct.
It's okay. We have our labels on the screen too, so that will help the general effort.
Oh yeah, it says exactly those things.
The point is, we're here.
We're here.
Yeah.
And we're ready to answer some questions y'all have been giving us over the course of the week. And these questions, if you're watching and just want to drop some in the chat, they can be for our characters, they can be about the game, they can be about ourselves, they can be about basically anything. We reserve the right to not share spoilers or to, skip over questions that make us feel uncomfortable. But, otherwise, have at it.
Do we have a list of what's been asked already? Because
we have this.
Okay.
Yes, so we have our first questions are ones from Rocky Might Art, which are pretty excited, and they are just for our characters. A bunch of this or that, which I think is pretty fun.
Okay.
So the way we can start with that is we'll just go around the circle, and you'll answer for your character. If you want to give a little explanation.
Rocky is here in the chat because we can also interact a little bit more with them too this time around. So hello, Rocky.
Yeah.
I just don't have to silently type away over there.
Hey, our DM is in the chat.
Hey.
Our lovely leader.
All right, and we're talking about Brenna, guys. We also got the Azure Sky in chat.
Hey,
welcome
hello.
Everybody. We got 2 more subs till 200.
That's
true.
I didn't even realize that.
We're getting close.
New goal. We're just gonna filibuster until we get 2. Stream staying up until we get 2. You guys have to deal with this the whole time.
Right, I'm gonna go make 2 accounts real quick and just get us that.
Then we're at super early.
We just end as soon as we get to. I can make 2 more Gmails. Go fast.
Right. We can do this.
It's like, well, our job here is done. Bye, guys. But if we did get,
It's been fun.
if we did get them tonight, that would give us enough time because we're going to be doing a Christmas one shot, not next week, but the following week, and we could give our 200 giveaway for a source book right before Christmas if we plan things out correctly.
There's a new Lord of the Rings source book too that's out that I think is really cool. And so that could be fun.
Is it okay
Rocky
if I
asked another
ask?
question.
Oh, kiss, marry, unalive. I mean, I think those are fun questions.
Yeah,
we can do it.
No questions were answered in this Q&A.
Oh, is that? We forgot the A part of the Q&A. We only did the Q.
We acknowledge that there's questions, so that we just moved on, like Congress.
We had the one brain cell, not the other brain cell. We didn't connect the dots.
Yeah. That would be a really funny concept. Just get on and ask all questions constantly, one after the other. Don't answer any of them.
So there's a really fun improv game where you do that. You just go back and forth asking questions, and you can't laugh. You can't say any statements. You can't answer anything.
I'm out.
You're just going back and forth against somebody asking questions, and it's a blast. You get the weirdest,
immediately
deepest cut question. It's like, why don't you love your mom? And you just have to be like, why are your shoes untied?
See, so we're doing this towards our party. Interesting. So Rocky's characters for the other ones in the party. So who wants to answer this first?
Okay.
Do we want to do the chat questions, or do we want to do the Discord questions first?
Well, I don't want us to lose the chat one if it goes up, so we might want to do chat as we see it, and then we do the other ones because it's stationary.
I think we do a couple softball ones from the Discord server to get us warmed up, answering questions about character, and then we'll go into the Kiss, Marry, Unalive. I'm making a note of it. just because get us warmed up and ready, and a little time to think about the answer to that one because it can be a big one.
Yeah.
As if it hasn't already been thought about.
Oh, I know. I'm like, shoot,
I don't think I've ever thought about it with the
I've
party
never
because
thought about
Bo
this.
is very uninterested, like romantically in the people. So it's never even occurred to me as far as like the party is concerned. Not that there's really anybody
pretty
outside the
sure-
party either, but
I'm pretty sure I asked Catherine this exact question.
Oh, you did.
Like
We talked about it a
months
couple
and months
times.
ago. Probably a year ago at this point. I don't remember.
It was not
So,
too long after campaign started that we talked about it.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe it'll be different.
Anyway, let's start with something a little bit easier. We're going to go around the circle. Cats or dogs? And we'll start with no. Cat person or dog person?
I'm making
Both.
the predictions in my mind. Oh, not what I predicted.
Both?
Both, yeah.
well, that's not an
Which is
and
different than
or,
me.
or not and or. What was the term of these questions?
This or that.
This
Yeah,
or
if
that?
it's this or that, you can't say both. That's not this or that.
Oh,
No is not lawful. He's chaotic. And he just says both.
all right. Bo.
I would say probably a cat. If I had to guess.
Nice. Do you think he'd like a cat more than he likes Claude?
No. Well, I mean, I don't think this is an animal that would like him. So, as we said, his passive animal handling is like a 3, I want to say it is. Or, no, it's a 5. His passive animal handling is a 5. So, there's not too many animals that would like him. So,
Amazing.
yeah, I would say his preference would probably be towards a cat, but realistically, he's bound to familiars.
All right. And Viola?
Lila's a dog person. I feel like that's kind of a given. She herself is a golden retriever, so
I was about to say, she's got that golden retriever energy. Amazing. I think Stain would be more of a cat person, too.
honestly, I guess cat people for all of 3 of you guys, and then Viola. I figured Viola would be the only dog person.
If not allowed to say both, I think Snow would actually say dogs.
Really?
He would like the energy and the curious nature of a lot of dogs. Obviously, it depends on the breed, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's a lot more extroverted and outgoing, and you know,
I don't know why, but I just pictured Snow with like a little like basket, and
Chihuahua?
he's got like flowers and a chihuahua
Yeah.
with a basket with his flowers and like a wicker basket
I don't
over his
think he would
elbow,
go
just
for
like
Chihuahua.
going through town.
I mean, chihuahuas
Chihuahua
are
takes the
chaotic.
That is
Yeah,
true.
but like chaotic evil, not chaotic good.
Or like a little toy poodle, like a little teacup poodle.
I love that.
Oh man. Oh, Bryn said she would have guessed dogs for Snow too.
Awesome. Next one. Ooh. Writing or drawing? If your character is going to engage in a creative side activity like that, would they prefer to write or draw?
Snow engaged in a creative activity.
I know.
Who
Never.
would have
That's
thought?
definitely not him at all.
Both of those things he's already done in campaign.
Yeah, he's a lot better at writing than he is at drawing, but he likes both a lot. But if it's one or the other, then writing for sure. Words, gotta love them.
You do. Words are words. I see the gears turning in your head, David. What do you think about
Well,
that?
the thing is, I feel like in the one hand, Bo would have great penmanship. On the other hand, he wouldn't want someone potentially being able to read what he writes. So, I don't think he's somebody
That's
that
what
would.
Thieves Camp is for.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't picture him being particularly good at drawing, but he might choose to say he'd do drawing so not to leave a paper trail, because his drawings would be non-readable.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh. I I feel like I'm inclined to say writing because Viola already journals every night now that she's got her journal back. But I feel like for like creativeness, like she doesn't write for creativeness. That's more of like a brain dump for her. So I could see her like getting into some like paint by numbers if that was a thing. I feel like that would totally be her shtick. She would love a good paint by
Like
number.
those diamond by the number
Yes!
things.
Oh
are
my
really
gosh, she
popular
would
right
love
now.
that. Those paint by numbers with the little gems. I
Yeah.
actually want to do that so bad. But yes, that would 100%. Bren, can you please make paint by number gems a thing in Razia? She picks up an activity to do in the wagon on their long journey home.
I just said so.
At Walmart.
Heck yeah. That's great. Yeah, I feel like drawing would make sense for her. This is why we love you, Brenna.
Stan would definitely go more for drawing than writing for creative, I think. In fact, even what part of her backstory, the little novella I was writing for it at one point, I have a scene where she's supposed to be in school learning, and instead of taking notes, she's just doodling and drawing in the margins. Flowers surrounded by thorns and stuff, of course. Very memento mori.
She's an emo one. She's an angsty
yes.
teen. She's doing those little S's all over her notebook.
But it stands for Stan.
Actually, that's so great. She's one of the kids that was like giving herself the barbed wire tattoo with like a pin.
Cool.
Oh man.
That's amazing. All right. Have we had enough time to think about our kiss, marry, unalive answers?
Oh, I wasn't thinking about it at all, but sure.
Okay. Let's see. No, you want to go first?
He would say kiss Viola, marry Stan, kill Bo.
Very nice.
I feel like that's not terribly surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if I had said marry Bo, that would have been.
It was that dance, Viola, that fateful dance that Viola had you guys do together. That's what sold them. Oh boy.
I mean, it'd be Sunshine and Grump.
Yeah. It'd certainly be that.
Bo?
I think his would be pretty similar. I could see him just kissing Viola and then marrying Stan because they wouldn't really interact. I feel like they would get married and just be like one of those couples that never like see each other and then kill Snow.
That would make so much sense though. Just like if you marry Viola,
it's like getting married
you
for
actually
tax
have
reasons.
to interact with her.
Yeah.
If you marry Stan, you can just like do your own thing.
Viola needs too much
never
attention.
Wait, I'm giving answers, Rocky. How much more of an answer can I give? It's for the taxis, basically.
She said why. She wants.
Yeah, I know. I
wants a
said
detailed
why.
Explanation.
I don't know if there's more
boy.
detail than that.
If she's got follow-up questions, you can drop them in the chat.
Yeah, clarifying ones, I suppose. 'Cause I don't know. I
Clarifying
thought
questions.
Goth love will rule. Oh my gosh. I don't know. This is hard.
I mean, if it wasn't clear, the reasoning for kissing Viola is because it would be done and over with real quick, move on. Stay in, they wouldn't have to interact very much if they were married, regardless of how, because both Viola and Snow, I feel like, would be clingy in a marriage. So Bo would not be interested in either of them. And then that would just leave Snow as the third option to go at that point. So
just a necessary choice.
Yeah. There was an alternative option.
I know who Viola would marry. I'm trying to decide who she would.
I mean, in all these situations, as long as we aren't killing Stay-In, she'll just bring back the person we kill anyway.
That is true. That is true.
Maybe that'll clarify it for Viola.
Unless somebody goes to the kill on Stay-In.
Nobody can kill Stay-In.
So I think this is what Viola would do. I think I got it all figured out. Okay. I think she would end up kissing Snow because if she feels like if she kissed Bo, then Bo might get really mad at her and yell at her and hurt her because he likes his personal space. And then she would marry Stay-In as like one of those.
Bo would be more happy with getting killed in this scenario.
Once you're dead,
but she would marry Stay-In in one of those, like, if we're not married by the time we're 50, we'll just marry each other and just be like friends living in the same household. We're doing it for the government, so we get the government benefits kind of thing. And then she'd end up killing Bo, unfortunately. I was between kissing Bo or kissing Snow, and I feel like in terms of like Viola's type, she would probably be more inclined to kiss Bo, but she'd be too scared that Bo would hurt her because he would like he likes his personal space. He doesn't want to be touched.
But you're still confident that you could kill him, then you don't want to get hurt by him, but you're fine with attacking him with his life. I'm just saying.
Maybe if she was like, Bo, I either have to kiss you or I have to kill you, then he'd be like, okay. Fine.
They just kill me then.
I feel like Bo would be like, just end me.
That's actually very true.
I think if he knew, I think if he knew the alternative, like if it was just, I either have to kiss you or kill you, and didn't explain that you would have to kill somebody else, then yeah, you would just feel like, I feel like that would be an impacting on his decision there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
The answer we've all been waiting for. Everybody married Stay-In. Who's Stay-In want to marry?
Oh, I noticed. I was like, dang.
Stay-In's wifey material. What can we say?
She's like the most chill out of the group in some ways, not in all ways, but like, yeah.
I do think she'd probably be the best roommate. So I feel like that kind of goes into it too. Because she'd keep everything clean. She wouldn't be gone all the time.
Do we know
like,
that she keeps everything
still
clean?
hang out with you? I just feel like she's a very responsible individual.
I feel like only in certain ways.
I feel like she hasn't had enough stuff to keep track of.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't think we really see in a situation where she, like, none of our characters have stayed in a spot for long enough. If you're constantly moving and never there, odds of actually seeing how they would live in like a docile kind of environment is not going to be likely.
That's
so it's just, whatever you can carry, you don't have that much, so it's easy to keep it clean.
She is a bit of a pack rat. She keeps a lot of weird things in her bag.
She does not keep nearly as many weird things in her bag as another D&D character that I have.
Yeah, but as far as from the group, you do keep an infant skull in your bag. That gets up there in the numbers.
Oh, it does. Okay, kiss, marry, kill though. I think she would.
What do you think, Catherine?
I know, I'm thinking. I gave myself the longest time to think, and I'm still going back and forth on it. But probably kiss Bo, marry Snow, sorry Viola.
That's kind of what I figured. That was my guess. I was like, she only puts up with Viola. I don't think she would willingly choose that life for herself.
Hey, she's given a few awkward hugs.
True.
I'm picturing it
Very
being
true.
like one of those things where she tells you to like look at the flowers as she's standing behind you with the knife. Like it just like
With her mace.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It just like
Don't
just
worry
keep
about what I'm
looking.
doing back here.
We did have Azur asking what kind of music the characters would enjoy.
Ooh.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, I also just thought of something for Viola, but let's answer this first.
Okay. Music.
I know that Bo wouldn't like country music.
Which is so funny considering his first accent.
That's what no, never mind.
I think Snow would really enjoy a wide variety of music, but his favorites would probably be pop because it tends to be very upbeat. But it would be followed by like classical because it's very dramatic. I think that would probably be for him.
Yeah, I'm trying to like
classical
differentiate
piece
like
that it's gonna be
songs
for
that I've
him.
just like, oh, this reminds me of Bo, and thinking of songs that actually he would like, because I don't think
Yeah.
the things that remind me of him would be necessarily the genre that he would care for. So I think he would probably lean towards classical and plays.
And plays?
Yeah, you know,
Do you
like
mean like
Broadway kind
musicals?
of like musicals. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Snow would also love musicals.
I need the
They're
Bo
so
and
to the
Snow
boys.
duets now. I need the
Oh,
Bo and
actually,
Snow
the-
musical duets.
The other day I was walking and I was listening to a song, and I was thinking about how funny it would be if we had a situation where Snow and Bo did like an impromptu little band type thing to distract an audience while Viola
I
and
remember you
Sayan
telling
are
me
in
that.
the background trying to like break into like an office and steal something.
That's
The
especially
sneakiest
funny
girls in the bus.
because Bo and Snow would be the two who would be best at doing the breaking and entering. But instead they're the ones making the distraction.
We love the role reversal.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking like in that situation, potentially what needed to be taken would be heavy, because neither one of them are
Oh.
You
Gotta
see
have the muscles.
you see the two guys are doing the distracting, and then you cut to the ladies and they're just like carrying this like
Yeah.
heavy stone obelisk.
You got the boys dressed to the nines,
Oh
you
my
know, with the
gosh.
whole, you know, the all 9 yards, and the girls are the ones doing the heavy lifting in the back.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Snow would be playing an instrument, Bo could be doing song and dance.
Interpretive song and dance,
I
please.
need it
Yeah, he
now.
could go up on the walls and on the ceiling, like he could use the whole area.
I need this to happen now. Brenna, give us something really heavy to steal.
Maybe back at the Wild Pike.
Oh my gosh. I hate to say it, not that it's necessarily the worst thing in the world, but I feel like Viola would be a Swiftie. I just like,
I can see that.
Good.
yeah.
That makes a lot of
Like
sense.
Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, like that would be Viola's jam. She would just be like a girly pop. She would also enjoy like some more, not necessarily like classical music, but some more like indie kind of stuff, like chill kind of stuff, because that's the kind of stuff she would have like listened to like in her younger years. But yeah, she would definitely be a Swiftie.
Stay and would go back and forth between like Gregorian chant style stuff and your emo scene. Give me some MCR and
I was
things like that
thinking
for her.
50s radiant. No, not really. Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh. Good grief.
I
Oh my gosh.
see we have
Real quick. Real quick, I wanted to say this about Viola because it got me thinking when we were talking about Stan killing Viola that I feel like Viola would request to be buried with Buttercup. Like, I just want that to be known.
Buttercup's a little. So you're saying when Buttercup dies,
just like
then
eventually.
immediately kills Buttercup.
No,
So
no.
If we're in ancient Egypt, that's how it would happen.
So they die together.
Eventually, whenever they are laid to rest at whatever time that may be.
Yeah, we'll just put like
they
an
want to be
Elmer's glue
buried
bottle at your
together.
grave. It's okay.
Shame! Shame!
Dark.
How dare you defile Viola like that?
It'll be for
Oh
Walmart.
my gosh! No! Oh
So,
my
yeah.
gosh!
Our next question is, who's your biggest inspiration for your characters? Is it an already existing character from a cartoon or live action, a book, a theme?
For Snow, there are two main inspirations. And that is the 11th Doctor from Doctor Who and Cyrano from the play by the same name. Cyrano is very he's very much a romantic, and everything words are everything to him. He uses them both to delight and to viciously mock. And then the 11th Doctor is full of wonder and curiosity and playfulness, but also with a bit of a usually hidden dark past to him. A little bit of a dark side that comes out very occasionally. And I feel like that fits Snow pretty well. There were a lot of things, though, about Snow's character that I decided because of those two inspirations.
For Bo, he initially, like, the initial concept of his character, and then I just like picked a class after it, and then a race after that, was from watching The Good Place. I was watching that, and it was inspired by Eleanor's character, who was somebody that lived a very poor life on Earth, and then went to The Good Place and was trying to actually there learn to be not who she was on Earth. So there was that concept. But then also, as I was playing, I watched what was the Tokyo Ghoul, and I'm blanking on the character's main name there, but the main character of that show, there was also some influence that was grabbed after seeing that too. So I would say that those are the two primary ones.
Nice. So Viola originally was supposed to be very similar to a Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones. And then I started playing her and too much of me came out. So she turned into this very happy sunshine girly pop, but also very strong fighter character. So not as much like Brienne of Tarth, but she was created with Brienne of Tarth in mind, which is why I put some of her higher stats in wisdom and intelligence, which doesn't always come through in roleplay, but that's fine.
We love her. So
Hello, Clara.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and
Stan's
Add to the
inspiration was
Beauty
really
is
more
here.
theme.
Hello. She just recently finished the 40th episode.
Oh,
Hey!
nice.
Congratulations!
So glad you're
Keeps you
here.
going.
Yeah, Stan's inspiration was really just a theme of Memento Mori, and I didn't realize just how well it would fit with the world until we started playing, and then it just worked out quite well.
It's so great.
But I sort of took it and ran with it. That's how I tend to do D&D characters these days, is finding some sort of theme for them and running with it for them, committing to every bit. So, She's just Memento Mori.
Just jumped on and caught up.
Excuse me.
Nice. Well, glad you've been enjoying it.
We're just
I
doing
also
a chill Q&A right now, so if you've got any questions, you can throw them in the chat. We're happy to talk.
I see that there's what jobs do their character have in our lame human world?
For Snow, that's pretty easy because he would still just be a storyteller. He would just be an actor and musician. He'd probably be doing Broadway.
Yes. Ooh, what musicals do you think he would try to? What musical roles do you think he would
that's
try
a
and
good question.
Go after? Yes.
All of the above.
Fantastic.
Everything that he could possibly do, he would just do it. He would love all of it.
Do you feel like there's a specific like character that he would play really well in a musical? Besides the one that you listed that was part of his inspiration, because I'm sure he would be very fitting for that role as well.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that one.
Shakespeare. I think he'd be a fantastic Shakespearean actor, like Globe Theatre reproductions.
Oh yeah, no, he's got the drama for it.
Yeah.
And also just like the wide range that exists within a Shakespeare play. Everything from the depth of human emotion to just the stupidest jokes you can imagine.
I was just thinking about how like back in like Greek times or whatever it was, how they had like the emotion like masks that they would wear.
I love
And
how
I'm
much
just
you try to ignore
imagining-
him as he's getting close.
I know.
To your face.
He just likes to sniff my face sometimes, and he doesn't understand that it smells the same as it did earlier. No, I lost my train of thought. No, I was just imagining Snow like putting on a one-person play by just like switching the masks, and I feel like that would be
with disguise
hilarious.
He could do that with his hat of disguise, literally changing hats.
That would be really, really funny.
He could absolutely do a one-man play like that.
He
That would
needs
be
to like
so funny.
reenact something like when we get to Nora and we're telling her of our journey. He needs to like reenact a conversation by like, no, I don't want to go to the Fey realm. Well, you have to go to the Fey realm. Like, I feel like that would be
reenact
very
the whole
funny.
first interaction we had with Leora.
Oh yeah,
He
With
could-
who?
reenact Bo attacking her.
Yes.
He can
Leandra?
reenact.
Yeah,
Leandra,
that's
yes.
right.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
who is this Lenora?
Lenora.
There are too many names in the brain.
He could
We need,
reenact
like-
the whole thing, and then like he'd use minor illusion for even a little bit of setting behind him, backdrop.
That would be
Props.
really funny.
Whole thing.
Oh my
It'd be
gosh.
hilarious.
We need more opportunities to see Snow's theater side come out.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Bo,
Post
what
job?
would Bo be?
For Bo, I could see 3 different potentials. And depending on his workload, potentially there would be overlap. I could see him doing similar to like what Snow was saying with like Broadway and stuff like that. I could see him going for that. I could also see him being a hitman. And I could
That's
also
where my brain
see
goes.
him I could
could
also
do
see
both.
him being a critic as well.
Every criminal's got to have a day job.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So those are like the 3 jobs that stick out to me like right off the bat.
I could see him being a film critic, or even a he could be a theater critic. Just
What if he be one of the Michelin star critics? Like one of the
I was just thinking like or even just like a restaurant critic, but he can't
Right?
eat the food technically. Like he doesn't get anything from the food.
I mean, if we're saying that we're in the normal world, then he wouldn't be a Demphir anymore. So
I mean, maybe vampires exist in the real world.
okay, well,
well,
I
it's
was
in
going.
the human world, not the real world. It's a human world.
I mean, the vampires exist in The Sims, so.
Oh, you got us.
Oh, he is a critic in The Sims. I think that's the job I gave him.
Oh
in The
yeah, that
Sims,
is
was a
true. You
critic.
gave him the job of the critic in The Sims.
Oh,
He's
I don't
Antonio
remember what
for
jobs I
Ratatouille.
gave the other 2. Snow is in the acting career, and Stayan is a judge. She's in the law. She's in the law track to become a judge. That's what they're doing.
He does like judging.
I do see a question about so our next main episode in the story is a week from today. So that'll be episode 41, and then we'll be on a break until January because of the holidays. But we will be doing a Christmas one shot the very next Tuesday.
Yeah,
so
December 10th. So
that's the date.
Yeah, we got main quest on December 3rd, Christmas one shot on December 10th, and then we'll be taking a couple weeks off to get through the holiday season. Our schedules are just busy with family and friends and commitments. And then we'll be back to more regular schedule in January.
Yes.
The regular schedule will be
every 2 weeks.
As you said, the
yeah, we aim to at least do every 2 weeks, or at the very least 2 a month. Sometimes the schedules makes us do back to back.
Kassie, what would Viola's job be in the human world?
I feel like she would probably be like a oh my gosh, I could see her being a PE teacher. I don't think she'd do very well in the teaching because I don't know that she's necessarily got the patience for it, but I could see her being a PE teacher. But I would say probably like a personal trainer or like I don't think she'd be like an athlete, like a professional athlete. I don't think she would do, but something in the fitness athletic field. Probably a personal trainer because I don't think she could be like a athletic trainer, like the people that come and bandage wounds and things when they get hurt, the players on the field and whatever. So yeah, probably just like a personal trainer or something. I think that's the job I gave her in The Sims. Excuse me.
Nice. I think Stayan would probably go into something like grief counseling, honestly, or some sort of therapist role.
I was thinking morgue for her. Because I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple more questions in the comments now.
Yeah, I'm seeing now about if they played The Sims, would they try and give their Sims a good life, or would they torture them? Which, thinking about Bo, I feel like, as much as it pains me because I like games, I feel like he would find the games really difficult to get a hold of. I could see him being like a very old man about it. These confounded things.
We love Grandpa.
We'll try and give her characters a good life. She wants to see people happy.
Yeah, same for Snow.
Yeah, Viola would.
I think if he did get it to work,
like
though,
the 100 baby challenge.
I think if he could get it to work, he would be okay with them living a good life until he got annoyed with one of them. They stepped out of line. And then they go in the swimming pool.
Fire. Swimming pool, build the walls around it. No door. Add to the Beauty asked a question about the one shot, the Christmas one shot.
Yes.
I see Bren answered it a little bit lower. Oh, so did you. Yeah.
We're getting a lot of answers now in all kinds of ways to these questions.
So I could answer that add to the view because I'm the one that actually is the one that edits the episode. So they usually take probably around 10 hours total because I go through and do a draft where I take our stream session, I remove some of the extra conversations that either have nothing to do with the story or remove any kind of filler words like us and sometimes likes and things of that nature. So once I have like a cleaned up version of it, that's when I go back through and add in music, add in any kind of visual effects. So because of that, our sessions usually run between 3 and 4 hours. And basically for that first draft, if you double the amount of time, that's how much it takes to get that first draft done. And then depending on how long the next that is after that, it's probably another 2 to 3 hours to just finalize everything. So yeah, that's about it.
About it.
About it. He does a great job.
Very simple and not that much work at all.
Brenna does provide the vast majority of the thumbnails for all of those edited ones. And then for specials like today, Catherine makes the special thumbnails.
Teamwork effort. David does the bulk of it for the edited chunks, though.
I think we have some Discord questions that we could probably circle to, because I think we may be caught up on the Discord ones.
On the chat questions?
Yeah, the chat ones.
The chat ones.
Okay.
Yeah, we have more Discord questions.
We do, like dancing or singing. Something a little bit lighter.
For Snow, once again, both, but yeah, singing. If he has to pick only one.
Saya doesn't really know how to dance, so she's gonna go singing. But I think if she ever learns more about dancing, she might really enjoy that.
I feel like there's Bo, it would be dancing, because I actually picture the way that he like fights up close to be very theatrically, like a very fluid and somewhat dance-like movements as he moves around.
I mean, blade singing, right? It's the whole.
Yeah.
It's the whole
Makes
style.
sense. Such
Viola would also be a dancer. She does have some classical training in that, just not very much because
it's hard to picture because I'm always picturing her in her armor because she always wears it.
Well, she prefers armor. That's why she's got 2 left feet. Just because it's what she knows and prefers doesn't mean she's good at it.
Hey, Brenda, you can make it canon to where Yonai can dance, but he's got to ask her if he wants anything to happen with that.
We need a Yonai and Saiyan date. Prayer date. Bible study date.
That sounds exciting.
Meditation date.
This is only going downhill.
Very quiet.
Saiyan's getting more and more excited as I mentioned.
Bo and Stowe could even like handle that when she needed to meditate on her own, let alone if there was 2 people that needed to meditate.
No worry.
Oh my gosh.
So peaceful. Speaking of peace, fighting or peace?
Fighting, duh.
Peace, duh.
I mean, I think I would say fighting, though I feel like his end, like part of his goal is for peace towards the end. I think he feels right now fighting is the
peace through fighting.
Yeah, because right now because it's like more of the age of combat versus an age of peace or era of peace, whatever you want to call it. So
that makes sense.
Most of Stay Stick is, vanquish the dark. So fighting is probably what she goes for. Yeah.
He doesn't know how to do peace.
No, she doesn't.
Do your characters snore loud, soft? Do they sound like they're gonna choke at any moment? Like my boyfriend, he scares me to death.
This is a funny question for Snow because I happen to know the answer as part of his lore. He does not snore, however, he moves around constantly in his sleep. So whenever they're in the tiny hut, he sleeps directly in the center of it. Because if he sleeps near any of the exterior walls, he might roll out of it, and then the whole thing will dissipate. But he rolls around constantly, and he also will talk in his sleep sometimes. And if he gets really drunk before, if he goes to bed drunk, it increases the odds that he might sleepwalk as well. So we actually, Brenna and I made a mechanic for it that if he goes to bed after drinking, I roll to see if he sleepwalks or not.
Did he sleepwalk that after that bottle that he got from the Pike?
That was before we determined the mechanic.
Gotcha.
But I honestly don't really remember what happened that night. I feel like we had nightmares that night.
I know Stan did. I can't remember if the rest of us. I think that all of us having the nightmares was it was when we stayed the night at a different one before when we met the family with Vivia and all them. Because I just recently rewatched that episode.
Yeah.
Bo does not snore, but I would say he is a light sleeper.
That makes sense. I feel like Viola maybe does snore, not to the point where she would be like waking anybody up. Bren, don't say these things in the chat. That's just rude.
Hope Vivia's okay. That's cruel.
Just playing with our feelings. I feel like she probably snores. And she but also refuses to believe that she snores. Like if anybody's ever told her, she's like, no, that was definitely you didn't hear me snore.
Stan has told her several times that she snores.
And Viola's just like, prove it. You can't prove it. It's not me. Oh my gosh.
Up to you, Brenna. Everything's up to you. You're the DM.
Yeah. You can't wash your hands of this.
You can't wash your hands of this blood. I don't think Stayam would snore. I think she's similar to Bo in being a very light sleeper, though. Unless if she's stuck in a nightmare.
She crit fails that wisdom save.
Wisdom she has. For saves, she doesn't.
She's only wise when she's awake.
Yeah,
I mean, that does
Brand
make
has
sense.
a point. Y'all could have accepted to stay in cadence that night.
That is not moral culpability, and I will fight you on that.
We're not gonna trolley problem this.
I just provide the blood, you bathe in it? Brenna!
No. Only one who's taken a blood bath has been Nora and Moonridge, right?
And that's technically both Brenna.
And I think Elaine, technically.
Oh, yeah.
Still Brenna.
We have not taken
She gave us a bath of blood that we could have bathed in if we wanted to.
And we chose not to.
Exactly.
Although
she
I did
provided the
think about
blood
it.
and we didn't bathe in it.
I considered it. I chose not to.
All right, our next question. If your character has lost anyone in the past, what one person would they choose to bring back to life? Saying that one's pretty easy.
Yeah.
She bring back her little sister.
I'm interested in this answer from Bo.
I don't think he would bring back anybody.
They can stay dead.
Well, because you can only bring back
to the
one
other-
person. I feel like the main people that would come to mind that are definitively dead would be bringing back one family member of 4. So then everyone else is still just dead with them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That's actually kind of a similar thing for Snow, because he would want to bring back the children that he buried at Mossbridge, but he wouldn't want to bring back one singular child and then decide
Here's
that
the
that child
consolation
gets to be an
gift.
orphan.
Right?
Yeah.
Then that child just has what is it called, like survivor's guilt or whatever.
Exactly, being the single survivor of their village and an orphan
The
and
single
everything.
one chosen to be brought back from the dead.
Especially because if you
Ooh,
also
that's a
consider
great
the time
backstory.
lapse, because all these, there's been time that's eclipsed through this all too. So for all we know, they could be having a great afterlife, and we're just like, you're coming back.
Exactly.
It's like, and now you have no
they might
parents.
still be with their family.
Yeah.
In the afterlife, and then
Oh my gosh.
get back over here. Yeah, if he could go back and change what happened in the past, then he would choose to try and save someone, but he would not bring someone back after the fact, you know, this like year later. So
Brenna,
yeah.
I want the afterlife lore.
It would
I
seem
want it all.
That would be
It would
cool.
seem cruel to try to change it now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think Viola's like lost anybody extremely close to her, like that she knows is dead. If one of her parents were dead, even if both of her parents were dead, she would bring back her mom in a heartbeat over her dad. I'm not gonna lie. But to her knowledge, neither one of them is dead. Hopefully, both of them are alive.
Just wait until you hear back
So-
from Helen.
I know. Viola thinks about that every single waking moment. Trust me. Every time we get ready to start a session, I'm like, is today going to be the day that Viola's going to get a letter back? She's been waiting, and it hasn't even been that long.
It has it in game. It's only been like 2
Out of
weeks.
game, it's been so long. I'm dying inside. In game, not much time has passed at all.
Yeah, same thing for Snow with Tavern.
Yeah.
There's all
Yeah.
that weirdness and then no resolution.
Mhm.
We just get to sit and be anxious about it.
Mhm.
I would
But
say we
Viola
could
has
just-
dead
we
relatives.
could all just
like,
go
in her
back to
family
those
tree, but-
locations, but then I'm afraid add to the beat, we would be disappointed. We wouldn't be back at
Yeah, it would take a long time to travel back.
She
to
wants
Viola's house.
resolution. We just spend the rest of the campaign avoiding the guardianship.
This place was bad. We're not going back.
We're waiting until the racists are gone, Gromber.
Oh my gosh, we're waiting for the local cult to move on.
Yeah. Those cultists. What do you do?
Those darn cultists.
Well, what
Can't
would you
live
do
with
those
them,
darn
can't live
cultists?
without them.
Would your character prefer to walk out of a situation or go in head first?
As y'all have noticed, Snow goes head first into everything.
Except fights.
I feel like it would very much depend on the situation that's at hand and also Bo's current like, I don't know if I want to say mood, but basically how impulsive he is based off of how thirsty he is.
Mm.
Depends
'Cause
on whether
that's-
he's hangry.
That does make him a lot more impulsive because how frustrating he will feel in those given circumstances. So at times when we were gonna go to that one shack and Bo's just like, oh, we can approach quietly because there's a light on in there, and he had like this whole plan thought up, versus when we went back to the Pike after he failed all of those constitution checks, and then you had what's her face, blue-haired bar waitress talking in
Razia.
circles to him. He's just like, I'm just gonna cut her.
And look where we are now. Talk about being a catalyst for campaign events.
Someone's got to do it.
It's true. That's why
Viola's kind of in the
Yeah.
same boat as Snow, as Bo, where she
Craves blood.
typically.
Surprise! Viola's secretly a vampire too.
That'd be quite the twist, considering
That
she
would be a
didn't know they were an
twist.
option.
If she was like a Damphir, she would crave gossip. She wants tea. I feel like she prefers to be a planner, but is also doesn't like talking in circles. So if a decision can't be made, then she's just gonna be like, okay, well, let's do this. So she would like to have a plan. With this group, that doesn't always happen.
Bran, I do know Musine. I mean, maybe I'm wrong in considering her to be the BBEG, but I don't know, I considered Rosita, now that the name's coming back to me, as more of an underling than a main concern.
If she should be more of a main concern, though, we can make a note of that. Mosine.
Isn't her name Mosine? I thought that's what David just said.
That's what I thought I said too.
Moosine? Are you
Plus,
calling her a
it's-
heifer?
Plus, it's not spelled that way. I know you're misspelling it.
It's spelled M-O-'Cin.
Oh, I thought he said Mosine, not moo.
No, I heard the moo as well.
I heard the moo too.
Oh.
It's okay. Stan really likes
Moosey.
to plan. He likes to try and figure out the best way to approach situations. Doesn't always get to happen, but she's a planner.
The way that I decided that I was going to play Snow's higher intelligence but lower wisdom was that his tendency will always be to rush into situations rashly. But like once he gets himself stuck in a situation, he will be able to think himself back out of it. So that's like, but when things are fine though, he will impulsively just like rush in, and then as soon as things are bad, he's like, oh shoot, now I gotta like actually be smart about this. Gotta actually figure something out.
I see Fantastic is in the chat.
Bob, how's it going?
Which characters are order puppets and which are chaos
Muppets.
puppets? Oh,
Muppets.
Muppets. Well, I mean, Muppets are puppets.
True.
And then which players order Muppet / Wait, what?
So your character, are they order or chaos Muppets? And are you order or chaos Muppets?
Oh, I see.
I don't know if that's
Like-
different for Muppets, but if that's just the same as alignment. I feel like that's just
Stan
asking if
is-
we're lawful or chaotic.
It's definitely order. Absolutely order.
What
To a
about
false.
and then
Snow
what
is
about
chaos.
you? Because I guess
Me, I tend more towards the order as well. And those things. I can be a little looser with it than Stegan can, but
Josh, did you say
yes,
something?
Stegan, is this fun?
Oh, I thought you started saying yours.
No, I just said Snow is chaos.
What about you?
I'm in the middle, honestly. It very much depends on what it is. Most things that other people would see of me would be more ordered. But a lot of things that like my closer friends would see of me would be a lot more chaotic. So it just depends on like what side of me that you see.
No, that's true.
Yeah, I would say Bo is chaotic, and I feel like I would probably lean more towards that than lawful, if we're using that term, or order. I don't know. I don't consider myself necessarily that, though I think the amount would vary from circumstance as far as me as a person is concerned.
Kassie, what about you and Viola?
I feel like Viola is definitely order, but she's like starting to dip her toe into some chaos every now and then with her newfound friends. Me personally,
Yeah.
I'm a rule follower. I am an order. I mean, I can be chaotic, but I'm a rule follower for sure. It's that teacher mindset.
Mm-hmm. Right. Teaching to swim slowly or by throwing them in the deepest part of the lake right away.
I think it would depend on the age.
Yeah, actually same. Because my instinct for Snow was like the same as the last question of going in head first, and just like, yeah, throw it. But he wouldn't normally do that with other people. He normally does that with himself.
No, just vortex warps people into the pool.
Learn to
She does
swim.
that with Stan, except it's off of a cliff, so she can figure out her flying.
Learn to fly, Stan.
Stan would need to be dropped into the deep end to actually learn how to do something. He learns trial by fire is the best way for her to learn.
Yeah.
But
I
if
feel
it
like-
is like teaching a child, like he would teach slowly, because he wants the child taken care of.
Yeah, I think if it was an adult, Bo would just push them in the pool. And if it was a child, Bo would threaten to push an adult in the pool unless they taught the child how to swim. He wouldn't see himself having the patience to teach a child.
Viola would try to teach because she's had a lot of good teachers over the years, and I feel like she would have some examples of good teachers. Not that she'd be that great at explaining something, but she would try. Words are not her strong suit.
Did you say Stans already?
Ooh, if Stan was teaching someone, she'd ease them into it much more. Step by step, methodical. Probably overthinking it.
If Snow and Stan were trying to teach someone, she would do it so slowly that Snow would end up throwing the person in.
So I did just think of something funny for down the line when he would gain access to it. If Bo got people to willingly allow themselves to go under a spell of water walk, but not tell him that was the spell he was doing. And then just see them as they try to go into the water.
Oh my gosh.
That would be really funny.
Teleportation or flying?
Depends on the distance, but in general, flying. Just for the thrill of the experience.
I think Stan would go flying for the freedom of it and the control of it.
Mm-hmm.
Viola would do flying too, because that sounds like fun.
I think if it was to get to like a specific location, Bo would want to get there efficiently, so he would just pick teleport. If it was for a casual thing, then I'm not really sure. Because I know that he's gone through teleportation, but I don't think he's ever flown.
Stan could take him flying.
Oh, I guess she did. Oh, did she carry them once?
I think
Technically,
he
she,
like
stopped
tried to
y'all
stop us from falling when we were going down after the snake lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I guess there was
I
that
think
brief.
she held on to Snow when they were below in the tunnels.
I think she held on
Yeah.
to everyone, not just Snow.
Well, she couldn't fly everyone though, because she wouldn't be able to lift.
Well, she had to make a strength save for it.
So I think there were a couple
was that
times
during
that she
the
just,
explosion? Did she do that?
during the
No.
explosion.
I
Well,
thought
during
she
the
tried
explosion,
to
it was just you two down there that needed help. So she flew
Yeah.
you out.
Oh, so she flew me out.
Yeah.
Flew back around, yeah.
I forgot you guys
Good
weren't down
times.
there.
Are
Remember
the
that time that
Or no,
Snow
you were down
saved
there. You
y'all?
used
Because he
you
got
used
bored.
absorb elements.
Yeah, Bo used absorbed elements, and that's why he didn't fall. And that's why he didn't need anyone carrying him. Because he
I
didn't
don't
get
think any of
knocked
us
out.
fell. We were on the
No,
ground.
you guys both. No, I mean, you guys both got knocked out. When the
Stan and
bomb went
Viola were
off?
both unconscious.
Yeah, Snow revived Stay-In, and then Stay-In took care of Viola, and then flew you guys out.
Oh,
Because you guys both
Gotcha.
collapsed.
yes, that is correct. That's correct.
The good thing that Snow got bored and wandered upstairs.
Yeah, we would have been fine. He had health potions in his pocket.
We'll just force feed him.
We're just glad it didn't come to that, you know?
I see our characters follow your heart first or your brain.
Brain.
Heart first, brain second.
Yeah, Bo's not necessarily a heart following person. He would be either brain or impulse.
Viola's a heart follower.
Would the characters get scared during an earthquake? I don't see Bo being particularly threatened by that.
Because with that spider climb, he'll just cling to whatever surface as it shakes. Just standing on the wall, like going with it.
It would depend on how serious the earthquake, I think, for Snow. Because if it was threatening people's lives, then yeah, he would get scared. But if it was just like tremors, no, he would think it was exciting.
Of course he would.
I think it's exciting, so he would definitely think so.
I think Stan would be a little bit scared.
Yeah, I think it would depend on how serious it was for Viola. Like, I don't think she would like lose her crap right away, but I think if it was a serious earthquake, she'd freak out. Now, if it was a magical earthquake, she'd freak out immediately.
We can cause some magical earthquakes.
Isn't there like
One
earth
day, I think-
tremor or something like that? Or isn't there
You
some
can.
kind of
There's
thing?
also the 8th level spell, Earthquake.
Oh, okay, that's what I was wondering. I thought there
Both
was
Snow
that
and
just called it.
Stan will be able to cast that once we get to level 15.
Yeah.
Dang.
Which we're so close to, you know.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
so close.
I think that's like next week, right?
I think so.
Next week in 6 years, yeah.
I saw a question from
Yeah, Bob had a
Bob.
question in the chat.
If you could be only a player or a DM for the next 2 years, what would you choose? I would likely pick player.
Yeah, a player. I don't think I'd be a good DM at all.
I like DMing, but I think I like being a player more.
100% DM. I love playing, but I love DMing. I like
Let's
knowing
see.
all the things.
See, that's my paradox. Is I really like knowing all the things, but I also like having the chance to discover all of the things.
Mhm.
So I think I lean a little bit more towards player because then I don't have to worry about keeping it all together. I can explore my chaotic side more as a player.
Oh, we are only 1 subscribe away from 200.
Whoop whoop.
Hey.
So we're getting close.
All right, that's exciting.
Remember, once we get that one, stream over.
Immediate cut.
No
right in
buy,
the middle
no
of answering a
nothing.
question, just cut it.
Wait,
Irish
Kassie,
buy.
Kassie, did you ask answer the player one? I'm
Yeah,
trying to
I said
keep track.
player.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
And then our next
I
one
see
is, what is the
Rocky finished
situation?
episode 1 today. So
Yeah,
nice.
nice.
just know that is the least edited of all the episodes.
That one's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Props to anyone making
That
it
one,
through
I
it.
think the stream actually crashed 3 or 4 times. So the
Oh,
edit for that one
yeah.
was literally tying pieces of a puzzle together into
Oh
one.
my gosh, I forgot.
The beginning of any actual play is always super rough. Like, you can watch the beginning of Critical Role, and it's like they got audio issues. Like, it's horrible.
What is
Yeah.
a situation that would make your character nope out in fear?
Mm.
Ooh.
I know that there are several
For
that I
Bo's a
can't
Buddhist
really
fighter.
go into that would make Bo at least say they need to leave as of right now from where
He
they
did
are
that
as
with the
far
gnome
as
that we
yeah,
encountered.
that's true.
And then
With the
he's
gnome.
avoided the spiders.
Yes, he does have arachnophobia.
Stan gets stubborn in the face of things that scare her, but I think if it was like a Tala appearing before her and being mad, she would probably run away from that.
Mom's
Fear of
angry.
displeasing someone.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Fear of authority. My mom is mad at me.
Literally.
Oh man.
I honestly can't think of anything for Snow. I'm not sure.
It was hard for me to think for Viola, but then I started thinking about like what are any situations that she would nope out of, and I think fear of losing someone who was really, really important to her. Like if it was one of those situations where like if she didn't leave, which I don't necessarily know if that's caused by a fear, but like for example, like if she was in a situation that was going to get her mom killed, like that would cause her to back out because she wouldn't want her mom to get killed, that kind of a thing. Because she honestly doesn't have any, or maybe Buttercup, yeah, too, probably, I'll be honest.
Listen, she wants to be buried with Buttercup.
Yes, this has to happen now. I mean, eventually, somewhere down the line. What made me think of that is because isn't it in like the books somewhere for Lord of the Rings that Merry and Pippin go to live with Aragorn and are buried with him eventually?
They are buried.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what like I was thinking of that too, and I was like, oh, Viola would want to be buried.
Saying Buttercup is Viola's Merry or Pippin?
Yes, 100%.
Or
we just
Buttercup
need to...
is Aragorn and Viola is Merry.
It really is.
That's probably more accurate. Oh man, and Stan is her Sam.
And she's even carried her.
That's very true. Oh my gosh, this is too much. I love it. I don't remember what I was talking about. Viola doesn't have a lot of fears.
I miss Viola talking about Buttercup. It's so cute. We should have kidnapped Buttercup when we left.
Viola and Buttercup are in a weird spot too, because now she can actually talk to Buttercup, and when Buttercup and her are talking, like things get weird with the horses down there. She doesn't like actually talking to the horses. That was a fun episode.
That was hilarious.
I do see Add to the Beauty says, is Bo quick to hostile dialogue with third parties because... I'm guessing you mean like, why is he hostile towards them? I feel like there's two reasons. One of them does have to do with just his being a Demphier and the fact that he is usually thirsty for the blood and resisting the temptation, which makes him very agitated. So he has very little patience. So that does play into it. There is another aspect that plays into it that I think I would rather it come up in story than in this, but so it's kind of twofold.
Add to the Beauty gave multiple choice, actually. A couple.
Where?
If you look a couple comments down in the chat.
Oh yeah, I was just keeping an eye on the most recent question and making my way down.
Yeah.
So that way nothing gets missed. Because I see Azura says, "What's your favorite kind of monster?" / if there is something general like
I'm saying this is the rest of the question, though.
The rest of the question.
Oh.
So is Bo quick to hostile dialogue with third parties because A, he's assured of winning, B, he's impatient, C, he has a secret death wish, or D, he wants entertainment?
I would say it's more B of those ones. I didn't realize there was the second half. Okay, I wasn't understanding what you were saying at first.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, favorite kind of monster.
I like the ones that have more, like when I'm DMing, what I go for are ones that have more of a story behind them or something I can weave very narratively. Like my party just fought an Oni because I could do a whole haunted city around that. Or the Banshee that they fought a previous time, sort of similar deal. So I like ones that I can play with a lot narratively, that have that sort of built into their own lore already, and I can manipulate it for my own needs.
It was very fun.
Feel like in a sense, my favorite kind of like D&D creature is probably a mind flayer because I think they're very interesting. But from an actual thing that I fought, I don't know if it was like a homemade creature that the DM made, but there was this creature that walked slowly towards you. And once you got into a certain aura, if you missed, I think it was a constitution, it would lower your constitution grade by a level, and it would
Ooh.
just keep lowering and lowering. So I think my guy got down to like a 9 or something like that. Like, and then people started losing confidence as beating him, and people started fleeing. It turns out we were pretty close to beating him, but as people started running off, I had no choice but to fall back. But yeah, I think that was the most interesting because the creature was just like so nonchalant in its approach, and then its way of dealing damage was so different from other creatures that it just was an interesting intimidation factor.
I think my favorite is probably a beholder. It's just like so iconic, you know?
Iconic indeed.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have like a favorite monster. I don't know that
Are there any that you liked from Baldur's Gate? Because I know you played that.
Ooh, I actually, from College Humor's Dimension 20 stuff, their Fantasy High, the first season, like the first fight that the characters ever get in is against this like corn.
The lunch lady and the
cuties.
corn cuties.
Yes, the corn cuties. Those would be my favorite.
I see. And after the earthquake, what would they do during the tsunami alert? Bo would leave.
Yeah, risk it now.
Bo is a fast boy. You just run.
Stay and fly me to safety. That's what Viola would do. Wait, no, we have to go get Buttercup. We can't leave.
It would not
behind.
go get Buttercup.
Leave or tiny hut, because
yeah, but
it wouldn't come
eventually,
through.
well,
You'd run
yeah,
out of
but eventually
oxygen if you got
No.
flooded
well,
too
not in the
much.
tiny hut.
You
You
don't
wouldn't run
lose
out of
oxygen.
oxygen, but
Oh.
you could run
lose
out
oxygen.
of food depending on how long the water
That is
remains
true.
above.
So you
The
just
hut.
have create.
It depend on where you are,
Yeah.
obviously. Like if it can't.
I think if you didn't have time to flee, that's your best like alternative as you come up with a backup after that.
That's why I said, like, if you can't run tiny hut,
Because ideally you could do tiny hut and then stay in there, and then once at least, even if the water level, like as long as the water is cool, like they're pacing, they're not raging, and then if somebody else had like air bubble, give everyone some air bubble or water breathing, and then you could just swim up and on your way. So I guess there are various different options to go with, but definitely don't take it head on.
we're not druids.
I'm gonna solo this. What's
Brenna put a question to
Question for
Catherine.
Catherine.
Yeah, do I prefer playing staying sober, drunk, or caffeinated? I think I prefer playing her
Or exhausted.
sober because
That's just Stayan's default.
I like playing her sober because that's when I get to play her as the character I designed her to be more. When she's drunk, you get to see a little bit more of a sensitive side, but the hyperness, I just don't know what to do with all that energy. She's not that kind of character, so it's a hard balance to strike and play.
Of her,
Fun, but
other sides, like exhausted, drunk, caffeinated, which of those three did you prefer?
maybe drunk staying because you can get her to say more.
That was my answer too. I like drunk staying.
Wait, we could start a poll.
Drunk staying, sober staying, caffeinated staying, or exhausted staying?
Austin Staying's just annoyed at everything.
Sober staying sounds like somebody who shows up at the DARE meetings to like teach you to not drink.
Staying sober. Are the characters scared of thunderstorms? It's a big one, yes. Stain doesn't like those.
Snow likes it. It's cool.
Which
Which
flavor?
flavor is it?
I mean, she is a snack. Bo can attest.
That is true. That is very true.
I don't think Bo's not afraid of thunderstorms. I could see him relaxing in the rain during them.
He thinks it's epic. Beautiful.
Bella doesn't enjoy them, but they don't like bug her either.
I think stay and spend a couple too many nights out in them growing up to not be fun with them anymore.
Thunderstorms in the graveyard don't sound like a fun time.
Yeah. Do you have a backup character?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Any hints or spoilers for them?
Yes.
I do, and her name's Noelle. That's all the hints you're getting.
I also do.
She is my insurance policy for staying.
Oh, is this the MNOP person?
Uh-huh.
Wasn't she in a one-shot?
No.
No?
I've showed y'all screenshots of parts of her sheet before.
Okay, that's why I'm thinking about it. That's probably why. Viola has a backup that is a halfling named Olive Bean Button.
What?
Her name is Olive Bean Button. Because I still wanted to be a sunshine character, just a different flavor of sunshine character.
Yes.
I love that.
I mean, I've thought of a lot of different characters, so I feel like if there was something to happen with Bo, it would then kind of depend on where we are, maybe in the story, as far as which one I feel like would fit in easiest moving in. But yeah, I have a couple of options. I actually made one that was almost going to be a potentially guest character if Bo got taken out, with one of the plans that I had come up with that I was going to have him do. There was a chance that he was going to be temporarily out of commission, and I made a temporary character if that were to have taken place. But that ended up not happening. But that character's name was Phineas.
Did he have a brother named Ferb?
Did not.
That was my thought too.
Oh man.
But I was going to have him cast Fly on Viola. I was going to try and figure out a way.
I'm just imagining Viola flying through the air, ringing her bell.
I mean, Beauty, ideally nobody would die, because that also would cost us money for getting new characters drawn. We'd have to rebrand. You're supposed to be invincible.
Unless you make them a changeling and they just happen to look like the same character.
A changeling is one of the theories I have for a backup character. Now that we actually have been to the Fey realms, it's easier to consider making a Fey character.
Bo's nice to us once. We're just like, something's off.
That's a doppelganger.
I think the song lyric fits staying. You've made your one wrong move. Now you're done for. I will be the one to prove that you're done for. Not even a spell saves you, 'cause you're done for. That sounds familiar, but I don't know why.
We can plug it right into the old Google and find out what it is.
Oh, I don't know how long a poll runs for.
Oh yeah, it's from Epic.
Oh, do I just end the poll? Do we think enough time has passed? Should I end it?
I think it says 6 people have voted.
Oh, I see. I can click on it from here.
The song is Done For from the Epic the concept album, the musical.
Oh, okay. I think I have heard that then.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I have that on Stain's playlist, but I've thought about it for before. I have it on a couple character playlists.
Wait, Snow uses the thingy to make himself look like his dead friends?
The hat of disguise.
The hat. We don't have plans to die. Don't. Guess what? I created a backup character as insurance. Like
Bren might, but we don't.
Yeah, we're not necessarily creating like the intention of dying, but when we had our session 0 for the campaign, it was with the understanding that if things got out of control, got out of hand, and things got too far, that we will all come toward the concept of our character dying if that happens, because it's just an aspect of D&D. Now, sometimes in session 0, people will decide, we really don't want that, in which case you create narrative reasons why it didn't happen. But
plenty of ways to circumvent death in D&D. The mechanics give you plenty, the storytelling aspect gives you plenty, like
yeah,
you can get around it if you want to.
Not only that, but it's kind of like, especially as you get a little bit higher, it's kind of hard. Like, it gets harder to like kill somebody. Like, we already had a character technically die, and they came back in 6 seconds later. So you really have to work on it, I feel like, in order to like kill a character.
It can be hard.
Yeah, because especially when healing word is just, oh, I could just cast this and that brings the person back up on their feet. So
I think it's pretty easy as a DM.
Well, yeah, you could just throw a dragon in, sure.
If I want the character to not be alive anymore, it is extremely easy for me to make sure that character is not alive anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about from a non-toxic DM perspective, where you're not trying to kill your players, that odds are you're not just going to accidentally kill them. Or not.
No.
Yeah.
If you're
out to kill, you can kill them easily. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, if you're decent at running combat, it's not it's not hard to keep your players alive.
Yeah, there's definitely enough creatures in the Dungeons manual that if you wanted to kill the characters, yeah, you could definitely do it.
Thankfully, Brenna said she wants us alive more than we want us alive, so I think we're good. We have plot armor.
Listen, Bob, you can want the characters to succeed, and you can TPK. A TPK doesn't have to be the end of the story. I know that from personal experience. Thanks, Josh.
Exactly. You're welcome. And I agree, it is very fun to TPK. Having done that and yet still continued the story with those characters.
We just had to take a little side quest and get our bodies back.
Yeah. Easy.
Character death is scary for me too. If we ever have a moment where one of us die, it's going to be unstoppable tears for my end.
Down the line, Poke can just make clones. Wait, is clone 8th or what level is clone?
I had 8. I think.
I had a character one time that did do
I think is
clone,
7th.
Which is an interesting idea. Do we have any Discord questions? Because I think
that's what I'm going back to.
Nice.
What was the process of making your characters like for you? For Stain, I started with a theme. I was just like, I like the idea of building something with Memento Mori, with building something with that. And from there, I decided I wanted her to have a skull in her bag. So that I needed to figure out whose skull is this, why does she have it, and what was the context for it. And from there, she just sort of came to be.
I already had the idea for Snow. It was a character that I had already made because I have a whole bunch of different PCs made that are just like ready to go if I ever get a chance to use them. And this is one that I really liked and I really wanted to play, but definitely fleshed out Snow a lot more as we played. Because for me, that's always like the main thing is like you start with an idea for a character, but it's not until you start playing the character that you actually learn who they are.
Mhm.
You know, it's like there's an element of discovery to the character.
Yeah, for Bo's character, after I got the idea from watching The Good Place, I then was just like, what kind of class would kind of work out well for somebody that was like potentially not great lifestyle, and then what background, and that's when I saw Criminal Spy, and I was like, okay, that works. And the race is what I saw. Like, I've wanted to play a Damphir in a main campaign since it came out, so I was just like, okay, I feel like I could get this race to work with this idea, and then went from there.
For me, it was really hard because this is my first ever D&D campaign, and even though I had watched a lot of like D&D, I didn't really know just how much that there is. And so I actually watched a lot of videos from the Dungeon Bros, I think is what they're called, on YouTube, about the different classes. And I decided what class I wanted to play first. And then I kind of worked backwards from there of like what could I base a character, who could I base a character off of that would be fitting for this class. And I picked fighter, obviously, even though everyone was like, you know, fighter is kind of a simple class, but it's like great for first time players because you don't have to deal with magic, which was honestly great for me. But then I ended up taking in magic anyways with the ranger levels for Viola. But yeah, I mean, I kind of worked class and then figured out inspiration and then fleshed together who I thought Viola would be. And then she became who she actually is. Hi, Archer.
If your characters were to play D&D, what would their dice look like? I think all of us have dice that we picked out in reference to our characters already.
Mhm.
Yeah, Stayin has these cool ones that are like white with a black swirl in the middle. They're going to be hard to see, but we'll try. And they have the gold letters, and it just felt very her with her light dark balance, and then a little bit of gold for her angel.
Let me go get Viola's dice.
I think Stayin would gravitate towards like heavier dice, like metal dice, if she was going to be playing something a little more solid.
Top with character themed dice when? Well, if we knew a dice maker, potentially. We need some kind of I'm blanking on the term product shop. It's not product shopped, but
an Etsy?
no,
Merchandise?
like, yeah, we need general merchandise before we even get into dice making ones.
For home.
So this was the first set that I got for Snow. I got this at a Comic-Con, and it's just blue and white swirls. But then these are the main ones that I actually use for him now. They are rose dice, so you can see the 20. I don't know if my camera's gonna focus on it, but the 20 is a rose, and there are actual rose petals inside the resin of these dice. They are very fitting for him because he loves flowers, and they're very pretty dice.
Viola has some like gold and blue dice, and I thought that the blue in there was just like ink at first, but it's actually like a blue feather that's in each of the dice, and then it has some like flecks of gold and stuff in there. But then I also feel like I also have these dice for Viola, which is these pastel. Oh, my light's so bright you can't really see. These pastel rainbow dice, because she's blue and gold on the outside, but inside she's a rainbow. Sunshine and rainbows.
The inside, she's a rainbow.
Yes, she is. Don't fight it, David. Embrace the sunshine and rainbows.
Hard to
David,
phrase that way.
For Bo?
Yeah, I'm looking for the D20 since that seems to be what people are using for the reference. I have.
I feel like the D20 is always the prettiest.
Well, it's just I have a lot in here. Oh wait, I think I still. No, no, I don't have any banished ones. So I have this one, which is got a mixture of red for blood, but then it also has bats inside.
Oh,
So some clawed dice. There's
that's great.
this one, which is like assassin kind of. It's got like a. I think it's out of frame, but it's got like a target on it for the D20. I have another one that's just kind of slightly with bones, but then it's a metal die, and it's got like red for more blood on this one. And this isn't a D20, but this one I got because it's also a Dead by Daylight die, but it also fits him because it's full of glitter inside that's also blood-like. So there's a lot that's like blood-themed. And then there's this, which is rogue-themed, and it has like different kind of weapons on it throughout. I think, yeah, those would be them. But I also got like dice for every single one of his family members in here, so that's why there's so many in this box.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've seen these.
Well, that's why the box is so full. I've got like 12 sets in there or something like that. Actually, my smallest set I actually never use because of how tiny it is. Somewhere.
Do we know where Bo?
Yeah,
oh yeah, I remember
dice
that
inside of this.
That's so cute. Teeny tiny dice. Do we know where Bo falls in the birth order?
Huh? Oh, birth order?
Yeah.
He is. I don't remember if he specifically said it, but I don't feel like it's a spoiler either. He's the youngest of the boys. But he's the middle child, essentially.
I knew he was a middle child. I was going to say that. He's got that middle child complex.
Yeah. I could probably end this poll real quick. Let's see the end results. Oh, where'd the end results go?
Hey, there.
Oh, okay. So 75% drunk, 25% sober, and nobody for the caffeinated.
Oh my gosh.
I saw some other things up top. Would they be DM or player?
Oh, our characters?
They're characters.
Oh, I see. I feel like Bo would be DM.
Would stay and be a DM? Is that what you said, Catherine?
I think so.
Viola would be a player.
Be in control, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my reasoning for Bo too.
Can you imagine the meta of us running a game as our characters running a D&D game?
But I was like, hey guys, I heard of this new game that we should try. Instead of Truth and Dare.
But I think Bo would also use it as a way for his old to get back into a little bit of his acting that I used to because of how many roles he could play as being a DM versus just one character.
I need to learn a lot more in-game about Bo's pre-Damphir days, apparently. Like, every time I think I understand who he is, no.
I already talked to the brand that Claude is the name of one of the roles that he played. He was a Count Claude in one of the plays.
That's amazing.
Josh, what would Snow do?
I don't know. I think probably play.
See that?
But I could see him doing either one.
I could see him liking to DM like one-shots or shorter things. I think a long-form campaign would be a little much for him.
I mean, he's smart enough. I think he might get impatient though with the
That was my thought
with
track.
his
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
I feel like Snow would just want to be like, and you come across a dragon and accidentally TPK because he'd like want to do these fun, exciting things. And
Have you thought about zodiac sign? That's like the birth sign, right? Zodiac?
I feel like we've answered
Yeah.
that question before.
Yeah, I think
but
we've
don't
done it
remember.
because we converted their birth year. I always forget.
Yeah,
because
we
I
have
don't-
another Q&A video if you want the answer to that one that you can go watch.
I
always
want to
forg-
say that I
Okay.
said Viola was a Cancer.
Yeah, I forget what month everything aligns with all the time.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
oh, he's a Libra. That's what Bo is.
Libra?
Libra.
See, I'm talking about phonics. Phonics never helped anybody.
Oh man. Let's see. For the players, if your character chose not to join the guardianship, where would they be right now? A month or so has passed in game, if that makes any difference.
Oh, I think that was a Bren question, wasn't it?
That
Yeah,
could be
I'm back in Discord
literally,
questions.
he could be literally anywhere in the world at this point after a month. Because he would have just kept on traveling.
Yeah, that's probably what Bo would have done similarly, waiting on information that he still hasn't gotten yet. So he would just be moving about.
I want to look at a map before I answer this question.
Potentially, if he was going to go sightseeing while he's moving about. I don't know if we landed on which city it was where he fought Fenris back in the day, but he might go back there and check out that city again.
I feel like Stain would just be doing what she'd been doing and either joining up with other adventurer groups or going off solo in and out of the dark to try and just fight it. There's a
Yeah,
0 chance she might be dead by this point if a month had gone by and she hadn't joined the guardianship.
I feel like Viola probably would have stayed in the area because there is darkness in this area that there is being fought, and she wants that opportunity to become a purger. And she definitely wouldn't have gone up north closer to Zaylee. So she probably would have stayed in the general region of like southern Urusha. She wouldn't have gone so far south to go back to Sanaa or Vensalot, but
Let's see. For the players, is there any part of the world that has sparked some interest that you want to know more about and why? I want
Lydia.
the afterlife lore. I want the death lore, the life lore. For character and my own reasons.
We
I
can
wanna know
always
more
let
about
somebody
Ophidia.
die. I feel like that's how
Oh,
you
we're
get
at,
the
we're at
hey,
afterlife
we made it
200
to
lore.
subscribers,
200.
so cut it.
End scene.
That's exciting. Now I gotta start planning a one-shot.
Whoop whoop.
Start.
Yeah. Oh, and since
Uh,
everyone's here, we can say it now that then on the Christmas one shot, the 10th, we'll be doing the next source book giveaway that we've been doing at these increments.
Yeah.
A marathon one shot. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
We said it was gonna be like all night long, right?
It would probably be.
And
I'm
for the
guessing
long
we
haul-
will end up doing like a Saturday. Would be my
Probably.
yeah. A whole new
Oh, I thought
time.
this was the. Okay,
Oh, we're talking about for Catherine's, not the Christmas. Yeah.
right.
Hey, New Year's Eve is a Tuesday.
Yeah, but I will be getting back into my area on that day, and I don't
Yeah.
want to. I don't want to depend
I'll
on
be in
the flights
Wisconsin.
being on time or anything like that.
We'll We'll figure it out. It'll be good.
Yeah. Oh, we were still trying to figure out what places we'd be interested to go. Part of me would be interested to go to, what is it, Dranfell? That's the city north. Because there could be some interesting happenings there.
Yeah, it's come up multiple times now.
Yeah.
Yes, it has. Many times. A lot of happenings.
Not places specifically, but places. Wait, what do you mean
The
by
question
not?
was about what is there something in the world you'd want to know more about?
Oh.
Everything. All of the above.
Or Bard of Lore.
Exactly. I don't know all the things.
Did Bo have an answer?
Oh, I was talking
Or
about
David?
Dranfell.
Oh yeah, you did just say that.
Yeah.
What about
Flower
Kassie or
species for
Solo?
snow. I said Ophidia.
Oh
I think we'd have a lot of fun visiting Ophidia. Stirring up some
I don't
trouble
think
in
so,
ritual
because
or
I really want to
otherwise.
see
none of us really fit into Ophidia.
We could try, we're becoming, we just gotta, gain some more clout and
We gotta go
fun
back and meet that princess and become BFFs. Bring her into the circle.
Into the circle. I'm pretty sure we'd be executed on spot if we just tried to, based off of how uppity the area is, if a bunch of blended people were to walk up to their princess.
Listen,
I think we'd get
Stayan is an
executed on
angel.
spot.
Hey, maybe she's chill with it. We don't know the princess. You never know. Maybe she wants to break away from all the conformity.
Oh man.
Um,
Yeah, I think our next question is for Snow. For someone who appears so averse to violence, why did he join the guardianship in the first place?
Oh. That is a good question. Have to go back to the mindset of like 2 years ago. He there was a couple different things. It was a very impulsive move on his part, which shouldn't be surprising. He did not put a lot of thought into joining the guardianship. He literally just showed up and was like, "This is what I'm gonna do now," because it wasn't terribly long after Mossbridge, and it was also not long after. It was also not long after the session 0 that we did,
I think
where
it was a
he
3-month
was
gap or something like that.
yeah, he was invisible for all of that fight. It worked out very much that he wanted to basically prove to himself that he could protect other people and that he wasn't just a coward. And he's grown a lot in that since then. He takes part in combat a lot more than he used to. He's definitely a lot more useful than he used to be in that regard. But yeah, I think that was very much his mindset, was just impulsively like, no, I can prove that I can do a thing, and that was like the big thing that was there to do. And so he did it, even though it is completely not him at all. The only reason he stuck around was because of the party and the mystery that we all stumbled into. Otherwise, after just like a couple weeks of the guardianship, he would have been like, why am I here? He would have ducked out. But as soon as there's a mystery, then he's curious. And now there are people that he feels responsible for, that he needs to protect. So, yeah.
I see that there was a question in regards to, are you trying add to the beauty? Are you asking about? So you're asking about tutorials, not necessarily like let's plays things. There's somebody that I came across on TikTok that I think does a lot of tutorial content, DnD. So there's a link there too for that.
She's got
Critical
good
Role,
stuff,
like
yeah.
what Bren said, is a very popular one. I think that they probably do have some like interviews with DMs and stuff like that with like Matt Mercer and stuff like that, and they are a very popular one. This one would
They
be
do.
more of a singular person, from my understanding. Yeah, she has a lot of solo videos, so a couple of options there if you're trying to like get an idea of how to play.
Oh, her name with a G?
Yeah, DnD.
Yes, I watched some of her YouTube videos whenever I was first learning. I watched a lot of her, and I watched a lot of the Dungeon Bros. And I want to say too, unless it's someone else that I'm thinking of, but I think it was this Jenny person on YouTube, because one of the parts that was going to be hard for me was the role playing aspect of it, because I'm not an actor. Like, I didn't do any of the plays in school, none of that. And I'm pretty sure it was her or it was somewhere else that she had these videos that she did where she like dressed up for it, so you could like kind of role play with her on your own, where like there's no, like, it doesn't feel awkward because you're not doing it with another person, but you can just like kind of practice responding to certain prompts and questions and things like in character, which I thought was really nice.
He's got a lot of good content, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Initially thought you were going to see a historical RP set during the early church.
That'd
great.
be cool, but no.
That'd be cool.
That would not be D&D.
No, but
Give me
it could
that
be
fantasy.
really cool. Early church is so much fun. I did a deep dive into a very narrow period of early church history recently, and it was so much fun. Love it. I think we got one more question in the Discord.
Nice.
For the players, what is your character's primary motivation? For example, justice, revenge, knowledge, redemption, duty. I think Stains is fulfillment.
I think a Bose is a combination of things that depend on the circumstance that's happening. Because he does have a vendetta, so he is wanting vengeance. He also has, I don't know if I would strictly call it redemption in his mind, but potentially like an atonement type thing going on too. So I would say it's a combination of those two things that I can think of right now.
I feel like for Viola, it's revenge in its own way. Like she wants to prove people in her past wrong and like prove her worth. So maybe it'd be more like proving her worth in a sense, proving herself.
I think for Snow, his primary motivation is curiosity. He is curious about the world. He wants to see everything. He wants to go everywhere. He wants to explore and discover and just be in awe at the wonder that exists within the world and within magic especially. And then aside from that, it would just be like wanting to do the right thing, wanting to help people, take care of them, make people smile.
Rocky said they were thinking.
We have We're all coming up on the 2-hour mark, so
Yeah.
maybe
So if
one or
anyone
two more
can,
questions.
if anyone can squeeze in some questions here, otherwise we at least fulfilled our obligation to Discord.
But hey, we'll be back next week with episode 41 of Razia. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is really exciting to pick up right in Bull Swamp.
Before then, the edited version of the 40th episode should be airing, because I just have to add in music. I should have that done tomorrow morning. And I think it should be ready to go on Friday.
Nice.
Oh no. This chain got all tangled. I've been playing with this.
And then we'll have our Christmas one-shot that we still don't know details about, but, you know, we're excited about it.
Is Brenna running that? Or
the one-shot?
Is that one of the details we don't know?
I feel like Brenna's running it, because it's been worded multiple times in a sense where it sounds like she's running it. Okay, she's saying it's me.
Hit me.
I assumed that she was, but I didn't actually know.
Rocky, you're good. Like, we were gonna go into like...
How would we like to explore a video? Yes, please.
Brent, I already told you we become BFFs with the princess and become a part of her entourage.
No, I think she's asking, would we like to explore Ophidia in a Christmas
one-shot?
I can't tell if that's what she's asking, or if she's asking how would we like the sightsee
I can see it both ways.
I'm taking it that way and saying,
I mean,
yes,
it is in the north, and it would be a winter wonderland up there.
That could be an opportunity for Will to come back in. Maybe she's visiting her roots where she grew up.
Ooh,
nice.
Okay, Brent said
Catherine is correct. That's usually true.
Part of me wondered if you were gonna pick Ophidia because when we were figuring things out, I was like, we could do a one-shot on that day, and I was like, as of right now, all the player characters have something connected to them except for Bo.
Meet Bo's family in Ophidia.
I guess
what if we do a one-shot back in time where we meet baby Bo?
We play as different members of Bo's family.
We all play Bo's family. That'd be so
I
fun.
feel like Catherine could easily play his younger sister. I feel like, because she isn't too far off of Stan's kind of. They have different philosophy. They have different philosophy on necromancy magic, but beyond that, the personalities are pretty similar.
Brenda says we don't get to be Bo's family till she gets to be Bo's family.
Oh. Well, Viola just needs to meet Bo's sister.
Bob, you're in the right direction. Muppet
Babies, but D&D.
Yeah, I get to. Oh, I see what you're saying.
But yes, we have that to look forward to. Thanks for getting us to 200 subscribers tonight. We're gonna have a marathon one-shot led by me sometime in the new year, celebrating 2 years and 200 plus subscribers. It's gonna be a big surprise for a lot of people. I'm still working out details myself, but come ready for discovery is all I'll say.
I'm not ready for our Rugrats episode, Bob. Everyone's playing
Rugrats was such a good TV show.
I was going to ask you, Catherine, if you have anything that you could hint about, but I'm guessing the answer is no.
I mean, I tested one of my ideas for it not too long ago in a one-shot, so I'm probably going to take that and develop it some more. Okay. Got to give lots of ways to explore many different features that you find on a character sheet.
Nice.
So. But yeah. Thank y'all, everybody. Don't forget to like this video
of his hair
to
and his
help
glasses.
us. And you've already subscribed. If you haven't, or you know people who should subscribe, send them our way. Let's bump up those numbers even more. Thank you for giving us all the great questions. Thank you for being a fantastic audience. And we'll see you next Tuesday for episode 41 of Razia Shadow, 1,000-Year Interlude. Same time, same place, same channel, same people, plus Brenna.
Only on Disney Channel.
Yeah, then we make
Where's my
the
little,
ding,
you know,
ding,
the
ding, ding.
David, this should be the only part of the video that you edit so that you can have us actually draw something on the screen. Then we all draw something completely different.
Oh my.
All right. Good night and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Night.